consistent bubbles for about 5 seconds. Keep those lips tight around the straw if you can.
Okay, so what I'm recording this on my end for later. Okay, so Mark, what Mark's doing, he has the straw in there, blowing consistently for 1 minute. Okay.
Not 1 minute. So these are kind of the straw has to be about 1 inch into the water. Any deeper, you're going to work too hard.
Okay, it's too deep.
Shallower, it's not going to be enough. Okay, so it's only 1 inch.
Okay,
only
good.
Want them to blow for 5 seconds at a time.
Stop. 5 seconds at a time. 5 seconds at a time.
Bubbles and consistent airflow. Yep, I don't want you hyperventilating or going too hard.
5 seconds at a time. All right, do another 5 seconds. Just 1 inch in there. That's not 1 inch. Right there, right there, right there. Okay.
Beautiful. So, I want you to tell me, what did the bubbles look like? Compare them to a coin. What size coin were they?
Quarter.
They were a quarter?
Yeah.
Nice. Quarter's a good size. Good, good, good. And how were they consistently? Did they ever stop the whole time you were blowing?
No.
Or did they just keep going?
They kept going.
They kept going.
They kept going? Nice. Good. We want that. That's basically showing you consistent airflow. Nothing's getting in the way. The airflow is going.
Breath support.
Breath support, he's saying.
Exactly. Basically, it's showing you the amount of airflow that you need to get good vibration. Now, we might have to pump it up a little bit more because you've been roughed up, but this is where we want to be right now, okay? How did it feel in your throat, Mark?
It felt normal. It's just I lack volume.
No, how did that, when you were blowing, how did that feel? Not it felt normal. You don't normally do that. How did it feel? What was the sensation in your throat?
I don't.
Exactly. Did it feel open? Did it feel relaxed?
You didn't pay attention.
Just, no, I
Okay.
did.
Hey, guess what? You can do it again. And now I want you to pay attention.
Okay, so now you're going to do it again and pay attention to how watch the size of the bubbles and pay attention to how your throat feels. 1 inch into the, 1 inch, look at the straw, 1 inch in. 1 inch in, and you're going to blow for 5 seconds and pay attention to how your throat feels. There you go. You're concentrating on how your throat feels. Yeah, those are big bubbles. I'd say they're even bigger than quarters. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay. 5 seconds are up, bud. So how did
that feel?
I compared to what?
Just how did your throat feel? Did it feel like it was constricted? Did it feel open? How did your throat feel? Did you feel any difference in your throat while you were doing that?
No different.
Good. It should feel nice and open or relaxed.
Yeah.
It shouldn't feel tight or anything like that, okay?
No.
If you're saying it doesn't feel like anything, amazing. Okay? Now, we're going to try and make a sound in it, okay? Before we try it, all I want you to do is say the word, or kind of hold out the word ooh, or the vowel, like this. Ooh. In kind of a comfortable medium-low pitch. Just hold it out.
Okay.
Nice. I heard that second one. Try that one again. And I want you to kind of check in with yourself. How much effort is it taking from 0 to 10, 10 being the most effort? You know, where do you feel? And so do that again and let me know the effort.
To make that sound that you just made, what?
Probably have to do more breath support.
Right, that ooh that you just did. Okay, 1 to 10, what was your level of effort on that? Was it a 3? Was it a 6? Was it a 9? How hard was it?
7 or 8.
7 or 8.
7 or 8?
Okay, do it.
Did you feel like you were, did you really feel like, I guess you really felt like you were really, really working?
You felt like you were really working?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I certainly don't want you to feel like you're screaming. I don't want you to, put so much effort into it that it really fatigues you quickly. But we need to kind of find the threshold of how much effort it's going to take for you to get consistent voice. Okay? So try that again and hold it out see if you can do it for 5 seconds, that same thing, at that consistent effort.
With noise.
Ooh, yes, with sound. You're not. Let me take the water. We're not using the water. I'm going to put the water on the table.
Not right now.
Right. We're not. We'll use the
Just
water. Just do.
Nice.
Okay. You're good. Again. Do it again.
Beautiful. Yep. Make sure that however long you do it, put a long enough break in between so that you can have a couple of breaths to start it again. I don't want you to get, you have to replenish the gas system. Beautiful. Let's stop. Pause. How does that sound to you? Does that sound consistent?
Very, very breathy.
Sounds very breathy to him.
We're going to get over that. I feel like the overarching umbrella is we're not happy about the breathy, but that's what we're working on to try and get better closure of those vocal folds and get them to vibrate better against each other, okay? Breathiness is going to be what we're going to be working on decreasing.
The doctor said that my left vocal is paralyzed.
Well, he read the notes. He knows that your left vocal. He said Dr. Sung said his left vocal cord is paralyzed. Remember, he read your file. He knows that. But he's teaching you a way to make maybe your right one might have to work harder. But he's going to teach you how to do that. He's giving you these are the tools to make this work better for you.
Exactly. So I know breathiness is what we're trying to get rid of, but that'll take some time, okay? But when I heard you do the ooh, if you need to do it again, go ahead. But I want you to tell me, does that feel like a high note to you, a medium note, low note? Where does that feel for you? So try it again.
Do it again.
Tell me those things.
Do it again.
Low.
Low.
It feels low because it sounds to me, and I'm only meeting you for the first time, that it sounds kind of medium or high. And when you're in those higher pitches, the vocal folds are actually, I think, making better closure because they're stretched out a little bit. And that's what happens when we go for a higher note. We get better stretch or tension in the vocal folds, and they can come together a little bit easier. So I would encourage you to not be so down in the basement when you're talking. Think more of a medium pitch. Okay? I think that'll be more efficient for you.
So you want me to speak in a higher tenor range?
Right, exactly. In the higher tenor range, you want you to live. Yeah, that's going to make your vocal cords work better, easier, and be easier to less breathy and easier to be understood. More volume.
Yeah. So with that being, go ahead. So use that kind of tenor or that higher.
That's understandable.
That's understandable. You want to try it again and try to go a little higher?
Okay.
I did that. It requires more breath support to raise my
pitch.
Yeah.
He said that requires more breath for him to raise his pitch.
Exactly. Yeah, it takes a little bit more effort, a little bit more breath control. So I will say this. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
A lot more breath from him. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we need to do so that you have that? We need to think about when you're talking that maybe your phrasing is a little bit shorter. Okay? You can still say the same amount of things that you want to say, but it might be broken up into shorter phrases so that you can put in more breaths to get you all the way through. And And that's just something that we need to find that threshold for you of how long your phrases need to be to fit in the breaths. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So we can't be so long-winded. Don't worry, a lot of people are, okay? They run out of breath.
That's
We're all
understandable.
very guilty.
Yes.
That's understandable.
Good. So, now, if your maximum is, 5 seconds or even less, that's fine. That'll be something that we're working on too, is making that stronger and making that longer. But it's going to take some time.
Breath
You
support.
can, run
Yes.
through the ringer.
Yes.
Breath support.
Breath support. Yes, he's saying you're going to build up
Support,
stamina.
Exactly. So when you think about breath support, can I just see you take a couple of good breaths? They don't need to be huge breaths, but just taking a couple of nice relaxing breaths.
With sound.
What you want him to breathe in through his nose and just regular breathing, or what are you looking for?
Yep, exactly. I want to see how, if you were just watching TV and you were just breathing, are you a nose breather or are you a mouth breather?
Okay, so breathe. Just take a couple breaths.
I just want to watch you breathe. Nice relaxing breaths, however you want. Nice, do a couple.
Are you more comfortable with your mouth open?
It doesn't matter either way.
Well, what if you're at home is your mouth open when you're watching TV and you're breathing? No. Okay.
Okay, so just take 3 breaths right now, either through your nose or through your mouth, whatever you want to do. And I just want to watch your body, okay? Especially your chest and your shoulders. So go ahead and breathe. Good, pause. Where did you feel like the breath is going? In your chest, in your shoulders, down to your stomach? Where do you feel like your breath ends up? Use that tenor voice that you were talking.
In my chest.
Chest.
Yeah, you feel it in your chest. I can see it. I can see it in your chest because you do this. I'll try and mimic you. You do this.
I
Got a
know.
lot of movement.
I know.
So we need to also think about, and that's okay. As long as you're breathing, I'm happy with it. But we can be a more efficient breather if we think about the breath going a little bit lower, kind of like for me, I think my belly button. So if I breathe in through my nose or my mouth, I picture relaxing the chest, relaxing the shoulders, and that the air goes all the way down to my belly button and fills top air. Okay? So take a couple breaths. Put one of your hands down by your belly button
Put
and
your
see
hand
if
under.
you could get any kind of expansion lower in the body.
There you go. Push that air
Do a
down.
couple of breaths.
So you feel your hand being pushed out.
Yeah.
That's the sensation that we want. So, have you ever put on a shirt or something that's way too small and you can feel the expansion in your back, in your abdomen, that's the kind of expansion that I want you to feel. Now, you don't have to go out and put on something too small for you, but that is the kind of feeling that I want. That's that lower support that's going to help you get that stronger voice. Okay? When you breathe in and it only fills up the chest like this, you're only pretty much taking in a third of the capacity of air that you can take in. You know?
It makes my,
And when you use that tenor voice, what was that question?
it makes my breathy.
It makes you breathy. Yes, it does make you breathy.
Yeah, exactly. It won't be as efficient. And also, it's going to make you breathe way more than you need to. Okay? So if you're breathing like that and only taking in a third, you're going to have to breathe more often. When it's a little bit lower, a little bit more relaxed, I bet the breathing is going to slow down and it's going to become more relaxed in your body and also in your voice. Okay? So that's part of your homework too and guess what? You can do this while you're watching TV, while you're waiting for your breakfast. You take one hand, you put it on your belly button, and you just focus on your breathing. Oh, how is it today? Can I slow it down and still, and not feel like I'm going to lose conscious, like pass out or anything like that? And just try and be more relaxed when you're breathing. Because also, when you lift those shoulders or that chest, that's a lot of like stress and on all of those muscles, And we want to relieve that. We don't want any stress. We don't want any tightness.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Good. Awesome. So let's get back. Any questions with that breathing?
Any questions about that breathing exercise? No.
Okay. All right. Something to focus on, okay? Now let's get back to the voice use, okay? Thinking in that kind of higher tenor voice, I want you to hold out that ooh for as long as you can where it feels nice and strong.
Higher.
Go ahead. Yep. That'll take time, okay? So, if you feel like you don't have the airflow to do it as long for the second time, take a longer break. If you need to replenish the air, take your time. This doesn't need to be rapid fire, okay? So if you hold it out for just 2 or 3 seconds, fine. Take a little break and then try it again, okay? But again, feel that support from lower. Yeah.
That's much better.
Nice. So, how do we do this? Or it's kind of like a little bit of strength training a little bit. Now, leave the cup on the side, but take the straw out, shake it off, don't let yourself get too wet. And now do it into the straw, okay? Keep those lips tight around the straw and blow, and you're trying to say ooh through the straw. How's that sound over there?
It's
Any sound coming out?
yes, there is sound. There is sound. It's not very loud, but there's sound, yes.
Okay. This might be something that we add on later, because guess what? With the straw, there's more resistance as opposed to just doing it with your lips. Ooh, into the straw, there's more resistance, so it's going to make you work harder. And that's something that we can definitely gear up to, okay? But for right now, the bubbles are great. What you're doing with the bubbles, no voice, just getting you into better kind of cardiovascular breathing health so that you're able to sustain these things is great. So how I usually, and I'll add these things, I'll put this in the chart, okay? That exercise, they're 5 repetitions each, and you hold them out for at least 5 seconds, okay? If you're not up to 5 seconds yet, try and just be consistent. If it's 3 seconds, fine. But we can continue to build the stronger you get, okay? Make sure to take time in between those repetitions. Otherwise, you're going to get real tired real quick.
I know.
Okay? The second exercise, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm just scared. I was just listening.
He was just listening. He's all right.
Okay, got it. The second exercise is you doing that ooh, 5 repetitions each. Again, don't go too quickly. Sometimes we go too quickly and we don't get the most out of the exercise as we can. So it's about finding that tenor voice, taking a good breath,
Yes.
and saying ooh for as long as you can, for as strong as you can.
When I want to, if I may, for a moment, Adam, when he was blowing through the straw,
Yes.
now I'm catching what it was. It was between a hum and a sound.
Yeah, so exactly, and that's what we're going to build up to. Don't worry about the straw now for when he's using his voice. That can be a little coordination between Yeah, people think hum, and then sound comes out the nose, and not all, and we want all of it to come out the straw.
Right. Yeah. It was about 50-50.
Okay.
It was about 50-50, I'd say.
Okay. For right now, the ooh is where you really want to be, okay? Another way that you can do that same exact ooh is you take whatever your strongest hand is, put it in front of your mouth, about an inch in front, okay? And you're going to try and say, W-H-O, the word who. I want you to feel the air on your hand, on your finger. Try that for me, Mark. Nice. Do you feel the air on your finger? That's showing you that the airflow is moving, and that's what the voice rides on. Okay? The airflow. The airflow has to be constant. Now, once the voice starts, you might notice a decrease in the flow against your finger. That's totally normal. Okay? Those are the two exercises that I would do pretty much. If you want to do it every hour, amazing. But I would say a couple of times a day. While you're watching TV, a commercial comes on, let me do it. It won't take you more than a minute or two, and there are only 5 repetitions each with enough breaks in between. Okay? And then the rest of the time, focus on that breathing. Can it be a little bit lower? Can it be a little less tight in the shoulders and the chest? Am I a nose breather? Am I a mouth breather? Which one's easier? These are all great things for you to learn about yourself. Even after so many years of just doing it, these are kind of essential to healthy and strong voice use.
That makes my voice stronger.
Yes. It will make your voice stronger
Exactly.
and less breathy, because you're
Yeah.
you're filling up your tank of gasoline and down to your belly instead of a half a tank up in your chest. So you've got a longer
Right,
distance.
exactly. Because we can put a lot of pressure right here, but it's just inefficient. You know? It's kind of a last resort. I want to build up those other muscles first. Okay?
Okay.
That's fun.
Yes. Just nod your head. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's no questions, do you have the next session set up at all?
We do not.
Okay, so I'll reach out to our scheduler. They'll get in touch with you, and we'll set up some more sessions. I usually do between like 2 and 3 weeks in between sessions. Okay.
Okay.
And we can stick with virtual
Oh, that works.
because you're pretty far away, right?
Right. We're in the Central Valley. So it's quite it's a couple hours.
Okay.
Couple hours to get to you. Thank you, Adam. We appreciate
Gotcha.
you.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Of course, it was a pleasure meeting both of you. If you have any questions, feel free to. My Health is probably the best way, but we'll reach out to you to schedule. Okay, guys?
Awesome. Thank you again. We appreciate you.
No problem. You
Okay.
guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
You
Take
too.
it easy.
Bye. Say goodbye.
Bye bye.
See ya.